So a lot of times, it's gonna be hard to really make money because it's a different paradigm. So a lot of us are used to being an employee. Let's just call a spade a spade. A lot of us are used to waking up every morning, getting in our cars, and driving down to work. A lot of us are just used to having a boss, obviously clocking in, you clock out for lunch, clock back in after lunch, and then you clock out to go home. A lot of us are just used to that lifestyle because that's where we mostly come from. Pretty much everybody comes from the same thing in the sense of we all have had regular jobs. We all have had a 9 to 5. We all have worked. So it's really easy to, I guess it's common sense why so many people focus on hourly wage, why so many people say it's all about getting, $30 an hour, $40 an hour, $50 an hour, because everybody is focused on that hourly wage. That's what we come from. Most of us have had that job. Most of us are used to having to basically, when we wanted to have a day off, we gotta get it approved. Most of us are used to having to just deal with the issues that come with that. Most of us wanted or pursued a job that we were at for like 5, 10, 15 years. That was the goal for most of us. Most of us wanted that because at the end of the day, that's what we, that's what we all want. We wanted stability. Knowing that you have a job, knowing that when you grow older, I should say, that your job is still there for the benefits, the pension, the retirement, all of that stuff. That's where most of us come from. But the sad part is, yeah, that's where we come from. But when you start doing this, it's a little different. When you become an Uber driver, you are no longer just clocking in and clocking out. Like in terms of just being a 9 to 5 employee. Now you get to choose your own schedule. Now you get to say, hey, I want to work in wherever I want to work. You go to that location. You choose your location. We all know as a job, as an employee, our location is set. Even in that, it ain't no, I know people that try to get transfers. And it's like, you can't just get a transfer. It has to be approved. So if you move, you SOL basically. Because it ain't nothing that nobody could do. Because at that point, that's on you. So a lot of us have had to stay there for a while. When you get a job, that's a place that you're going to stay for multiple years. You know what I'm saying? And that you basically not leaving. It's kind of what it all boils down to. It's not something that you're doing because you're planning on, leaving. It's not something that you're in because, you're just there for temporary purposes. But now as a driver, as an Uber driver, you take that restriction off because you can work pretty much anywhere. Now, is it a process? Sure. So like obviously I work out of the state of Florida. Obviously I work in Miami to be exact. If I wanted to work in California, it would be a process. It doesn't mean that I can't do it, but it's a process. So I would, have to change my registration, I would have to, of course, get insurance to cover me in California. I would have to get my driver's license updated, and then I would, of course, have to contact Uber, use support contact support and let them know, hey, I moved to California. Go through the process of, getting my vehicle situated up there, and then boom, I can work. Like I said, it's a process. It's steps to it, but I can work wherever I want to. I just got to go through the process. Now, that process may take like a week, couple days, but once that process is over, I'm good to go. And that's more so just getting affiliated with what the process is. You know what I'm saying? Finding where to put the documents and all of that stuff. Like, because you have a different type of freedom. You have a different type of, when you remove all of those restrictions, it's like you can do whatever it is that you kind of wanted. You can basically take your life wherever you want. And that's the beautiful part about it, So when you come from something like a W-2 and you're having all of these restrictions, I mean, now don't get me wrong, the restrictions are needed for some people. Some people need those restrictions, I've always said that. Not everybody is meant to just take that leash off, because some people they need that structure. That's what a job gives you. It gives you structure, because you know when you work, you know where you work, and you know what time you need to be there. And if you're not there at a specific time, you're penalized. So it's an incentive for you to be on time. It's an incentive for you to do work. Obviously, if you start slacking off at the job, your boss is gonna know, might get a write-up. Then it's gonna be, okay, now we gonna roach you up. Now we gonna dock your pay. And then eventually they're gonna fire you. Is what it kind of comes down to. So some people need that structure. Not everybody is meant to be an Uber driver. I will say that. But when you come on this side, you have to let go of that mentality of, man, I'm getting paid hourly. Because you're not. The only way you get paid as a driver is when you pick people up and you drop people off. And you slide that little button that says complete trip. That's it. So what I tell everybody is, if you just focused on your hourly, you're going to be missing out on money. And that's just the reality of it. Because there are good days and there are bad days. There are days where it's going to be balling out of control. The volume is up. Everybody's ordering. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you just got a ton of requests. Everything's just kind of going the way that it needs to be. Everybody is flowing. You're in the right places. You're getting the right rides. So yeah, you making a ton of money a lot quicker than on those other days where it's like, man, you just driving around, or you're waiting a lot for requests, or you're just kind of searching for the areas where people are, or you're just kind of stopped, parked, or driving around because it's just slow. And sometimes it's a couple days, sometimes it's only one day, sometimes it's a week, couple weeks, sometimes it's only 1 week. It just sometimes it's seasonal. Like my market is very seasonal, So if you listen to anybody from my market during the summer, it's a completely different tune than what you're hearing now. Because now we're in the season. So it's all market dependent as well. But if you're focused on the hourly pay, then what happens when we're out of season? You know what I'm saying? Your hourly pay is going to be horrible, right? What happens when it's a slow day? Your hourly pay is going to be horrible. But even though your hourly pay is horrible, you can still make money, is what it kind of all comes down to. So focusing on that hourly pay is kind of leading you astray, so to speak, So for me personally, I think $21 an hour is amazing, especially for my market. because I look at it like a cashier, a restaurant server. Let's see, what other entry-level jobs in our area? Amazon worker, a post office employee. I think they right around 21, 22. Let's see. What else? I mean, we talking about fast food, cashiers, so grocery stores. Yeah, entry-level jobs. $21 is amazing in our market. In the South Florida market, $21. What jobs are really paying that? Because see, what you gotta remember, and this is the difference between being a business owner and being a Uber driver or being an employee. Your salary is based on what the company is making from your position. So obviously, a McDonald's fast food worker is paid a little bit less than, it's going to be paid less than an entertainer, because an entertainer is bringing, millions and millions of dollars to the company. The fast food worker isn't really doing as much. They're servicing the customers, but they're not bringing that type of money to the facility. And the job isn't that hard. They dumb a lot of the stuff down. Anybody could be a fast food worker. On the flip side, not anybody could be an entertainer. So the value of the position is weighted a whole lot differently than, an entry-level cashier, entry-level fast food worker, an entry-level warehouse worker. It's just weighted differently, because the overall value is just not the same. So when you're talking about most of these jobs start at $15 an hour, and that's it. Some of them do start at like 12 and 13, especially if you're talking about like a dishwasher. Some cooks, prep cook starts at like that. The line cook starts at like that. So a lot of entry-level jobs start at $15 an hour. No experience needed. You just come in and you sign up. Now, if you're from South Florida, then you got to know somebody, but that's just how it is. But as a driver, you can make way more than that easily, especially during a good day. You will make more than that on a good day. You will absolutely make more than that, because a good day, you're probably making $30, $40 an hour, especially. Now, it may be short-lived, but you're going to make more on a good day. Absolutely, because the money is there. The money is there, and you got the opportunity. It's just about you taking advantage of it. And that's kind of what this whole video is about. So when you're looking at it from the perspective of, well, what is my hourly pay? Am I getting paid $21? You're missing out on money for the slow days, because the slow days, there's money to be made. Bills don't stop. Let's just be real. Bills don't stop. Bills don't stop. Netflix isn't going to stop. They're going to charge you every day on whatever your billing date is. For me, it is the first of the month. So I just paid my Netflix bill. They are going to charge every month at the same time. Doesn't matter what's going on in the economy. As long as my subscription is active, they are going to charge me. Now, of course, if I don't pay it, then okay, my subscription won't be active anymore. But you better believe every single time my subscription is active, they're going to charge that card. And they charge that card faithfully. And I'm just using Netflix as an example, but let's say your rent, let's say your phone bill, let's say your internet bill, water bill, electricity bill, car note. Those are going to happen regardless of your situation. They are going to come every month. So on those slow days, if you just say, hey, listen, I'm not making $21 an hour, and you don't actually go out and get it, you're losing money. because there's money to be made. It just won't come as fast. And this is the overall point of the video. You know, when you're focused simply on, damn, I gotta make, $30 an hour, $40 an hour, it leaves so much to be desired, in the sense of, okay, cool, yeah, you trying to hit an hourly, but what about, instead of trying to hit an hourly, hit the daily goal. I'm trying to make $200 so that I can pay all of my bills. I'm trying to make $300 so I could take care of all of my debts. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how I look at it, because that's more realistic for a business. Business owners, can you think about what Walmart does? Walmart isn't really looking at their hourly pay, and that's just, Walmart doesn't care about their hourly pay. As you can see, this guy was about to go through the little thing. Walmart doesn't care about their hourly pay in that sense, because they're open, in some places they're open 24 hours a day. So if they're open 24 hours a day, you know what I'm saying, there's going to be slow times in the day, just like there's fast times in the day. So in those slow times, and they're open, the hourly pay isn't looking good. Does that make sense? Like, but they're open regardless. They're looking at it from the perspective of what are they making every day, what are they making every month. Obviously, Walmart's a big company, so they're probably looking at it on a quarterly basis. But the point is, they're not focused on the hourly pay, because they're a business, and they're open in those areas because they see a business need, and they're trying to solve it. They're open in those areas because they see an opportunity to kind of make that for their business. Now, every store is different. So like in my market in Miami, you're not going to find a 24-hour Walmart because it just don't happen. But if you're in a different area, you can. Because every business is different. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and if they focus on hourly, opening up 24 hours just isn't profitable at all. But again, that's why certain businesses do it. Some certain stores, certain locations do it, certain locations don't. But overall, they're looking at it from the standpoint of, okay, so how much am I making in the morning? How much am I making in the night? And that's what you got to look at, because there's an opportunity to make money all throughout the day, all throughout the night. It's just up to you which one works better for you. And that's kind of where when I brought up Walmart, that's where I'm going with it. For some stores, it doesn't make sense to open up at night because they just don't have the employees. On the flip side, for other stores, it makes all of the sense in the world because they have too many employees. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, everything is business based. I can't tell you how to run your business because it's yours. But that's what I mean. You gotta stop thinking just solely like an employee, and you gotta look at this from a business. That's how you make the true money. But yeah, with that being said, man, as you can see, I am just sitting over here. I am in Holidale Beach. You guys can see people have been walking by. Yeah, man. It is a Saturday night, so it is what it is. But yeah, man, if you're not a part of the Telegram group, why not join our community? Yeah, and if you need me, leave a comment below or join the Telegram group and talk to me directly. But yeah, with that being said, man, I'm out of here, man. Deuces.